Hi, welcome to the Swim Parent Podcast. I'm your host, Roxana Purdue. Today, my guest is Becca Mann. She's an absolutely incredible record breaking swimmer in the pool and in open water. And if you don't know about Becca yet, this is a great time for you to meet her and hear a little bit about her incredible swim journey, her incredible swim career, which is not over yet. Becca is a two-time USA national champion and the youngest swimmer to place in the top 10 in 4 events at a single Olympic trials. She went to her first Olympic trials when she was only 14. She's broken multiple national age group records. She's represented the U.S. at 4 world championships, and she made history in 2019 as the first person to swim the 40-mile triple Maui Nui Channel in Hawaii. Absolutely incredible. She was 21 years old at the time. Becca's also a writer. She published 2 books just this year, one of which tells about a lot of these accomplishments as well as the challenges she's faced along the way. We talk about the book in the interview. And the last thing I'll say about Becca is that after taking 5 years off of swimming, she decided a year ago to start training again. She moved to North Carolina, where she's currently training at the Triangle Aquatic Center in Cary, North Carolina, with Ashley Twitchell and Coach JP, who we mentioned a couple of times in the interview. And just this August, she qualified for her 8th USA national team. Absolutely incredible. Becca's a blast. She's so much fun to talk to. Please enjoy my interview with Becca Mann. Yay! Becca Mann, thank you for joining me. Welcome
Thank you for having
to
me.
the Swim Parent Podcast.
I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. Like I said last week when we talked, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on the podcast is because I read your book, Outside the Lanes.
Oh, you have it there.
Yay! And
Thank you for reading it too. I
yeah,
really appreciate that.
it was really good. It was a good story. But what I loved about it was reading it from a parent perspective and seeing the way your your 8-year-old Becca mind, your 10-year-old mind, um, what 13, 14 at your first Olympic trials, and just
Yeah.
like you've got so much of that inner dialogue in the book of what you were thinking. It honestly never occurred to me to ask my swimmer, what do you think about when you're swimming long distances? So I loved that you put that in the book. It was, an insight into a swimmer mind, but yours in particular. So you talk a lot about music and the worlds that you imagine.
It's actually really funny. I had more music in there, and then my publisher was like, "I don't think that you can just start like quoting lyrics." I think that I
Why
think that at one
not?
point they were like, "We're gonna get it down to one song. You're only allowed to
Oh,
one song."
was that American Pie?
Yeah, and I didn't want it to be that. I can't even remember which song. I, was really advocating for Wrecking Ball and
Oh, yeah.
something else, which I forgot. Yeah, but I was really mad about that because there were so many song references. I love
Yeah.
music, so
Well,
I had to, really narrow in.
you talk about music, you talk about musicals, and you talked about let's see. So I loved this part of the book. At your first Olympic trials, you were 14. Adrenaline rushed through my body as I turned from breaststroke to freestyle. My imagination took over like how it did when I was a child. I was racing to save Quonks. Am I pronouncing that
Yes.
correctly? The land of the novel I was writing, and each swimmer was from an enemy tribe. I was like, that is amazing. That is
I mean, swimming
amazing.
swimming was really just it was a game in some ways, it was
Yeah,
like a video game for my fantasy worlds almost. Um it made it more fun to think of it that way.
of course.
It made the stakes higher, it really
Yeah.
motivated me, and it, allowed me to be a kid in a very, intense environment.
Sure. Yeah. I would imagine, especially for the longer distances, right? Where you've got a lot of time to think about what's going on and what you're doing and how much is left and how do I motivate myself on this last. And some of those passages in the book you break down specifically, like I've done 100, I have this much more, here's
Yeah.
another 100. So I love that. I love that it's your child mind thinking through processing and motivating yourself
Thank you.
to, yeah,
Yeah,
it's really creative.
I also wanted to make it interesting and, like, palatable for people who didn't know swimming as well because I didn't want it
Yes.
to just be a book for swimmers. So, like, I kind of had to find the line of, "Okay, I don't want this to be inside swimming, like that inside baseball
Mhm.
kinda thing,
Yeah.
but I also don't want it to be, like, me holding your hand through the whole thing and being like, 'This is a
Yeah.
400 IM.'"
Of course.
So I had to, like, really just find a line where I was like, "Okay, if you don't know what a 400 IM is, you'll be able to understand, like, the energy and the feeling of this and, like, what I'm going for from, like, an emotional perspective, while,
Yeah.
like, the swimmers, would be able to understand, like, "Oh, okay, like, 400 IM, good, like, you don't need to explain that to me."
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I thought you did a great job of that. I mean, I do
Oh,
know a
thank you.
little bit about swimming with just through my daughter, but the
Yeah,
story is really what, speaks volumes, your journey. So, 10-year-old Becca was dead set on making the Olympics. I mean, that's
yeah.
something you talk about at the beginning of the book. And spoiler alert, you qualify for lots of Olympic trials, but you don't end up making it to the Olympics. How has your definition of success changed since you were an age group swimmer? Would you still consider yourself successful?
I know that I'm, like, the hardest on myself because I have
Yeah.
these very high expectations for myself, and I think that you have to. If you want to achieve amazing things, you have to think that you can achieve the amazing things, and that has to be the goal.
Yeah.
But I think that, like, also knowing that it's the journey that and, like, that
Yeah.
sounds so cliche, but, like, it truly is. It's what you're like, it's who you are when things go wrong that really
Yeah.
makes your character. So,
Yeah.
like, ultimately, when I look back, I'm proud of how I handled the things that went wrong, and, like, if it had just been easy and I'd been like, "Okay," like, and then I did this and then I did that, and then I believed in myself and I did it, like, I don't I don't know who I would be necessarily because, like, you're forged by the trials and you're forged by the hardship, and I think that I don't know that I would be the version of myself that I am now, which I love so much, if it had all gone to plan. So, yeah, definitely would say that I'm successful.
I think that's such a great message for swimmers, young swimmers, because it's so easy to feel like the Olympics is the only way to measure success. Like if you don't make it to the Olympics, you're not a successful swimmer. But I mean,
Right.
there's so many little markers along the way, and just the individual journey. And so it's really nice to hear you speak about all the different ways that you've achieved success in your life. um, and
Yeah.
you become a writer. You studied writing in college, and then you took a break from swimming. Is that right? Is that when
Yes.
you worked on your book? Or
So, yeah, I took 5 years off of swimming. I thought I was completely
yeah,
done. And, like, I'm thinking about, like, what you were just saying with, like, the Olympics being, like, the all or nothing, like, you either make it or
yeah,
you don't. I think that kids tend to think in, like, the binary, like, black and white.
yes,
And I do think that that's how I thought as a
hmm,
child and a teenager, and I think that, like, with time and with growing up, then you realize that things aren't just that like, there's nuance to everything. And I also think that writing really taught me that as well, just because, like, you have to understand the motivations for many different types of people if you wanna write, nuanced characters. So, just, like, learning about other perspectives, other people, how people deal with hardship, how people deal with success, how people deal with everything that life can possibly throw at you and, like, the choices that you make. I think that really, like, those 5 years were defined by that. Were defined by me, like,
hmm,
learning about other ways to live and other ways to be and other ways to act and, just, like, learning how to live a life outside of, like, this very rigid, one-dimensional, "I
yeah,
wake up, I swim. If I keep doing this, I will make goal."
yeah.
And just, like, living in, like, the gray rather than, like, the black and white.
You talked in one of your social media videos. You have a great social media account as well. I just wanted to point that out. My
Thank
daughter
you.
follows you. I think some of her friends follow you. Your swimming content they find super relatable and
Oh, good.
fun and
Yeah.
funny.
That's what I'm
Um,
trying to do. I'm trying to, like, make swimming a little more fun just because,
yeah.
it can be really hard sometimes, and I think that if people, like I wanna, like, build a sense of community around it where, like, and where people realize that it doesn't have to be so rigid and so,
Mhm.
like, I stare at the black line. Instead, it can be, like, something
Yes.
fun and
Yeah,
and,
you
like,
did
trying to
something
share. Yeah.
recently with the different swimsuits and the different, like,
But
personalities,
yeah.
right? Yeah, I love that because
I think I did that with Wicked. I love Wicked. So,
I know my daughter has multiple different colored pattern suits, and she does have preferences on, like, this one is for this type of swim, and that they're the same cut. It's the
yeah.
it's the pattern and the color that
Exactly.
somehow influences what she thinks she's able to achieve in that color suit, you know?
Yeah.
So they have personalities. I love
Definitely.
that. She related to that post
Oh, good.
a lot. I love that you're doing that. I think it's a great way for young swimmers to be inspired by someone
Yeah.
who's, come before them,
Yeah.
going through the journey,
As
coming
long
out
as
on the other
they wear
side.
their Glinda suits when they want to tan,
The Glenda, yeah.
then I know that I've done my job. I've paid it forward.
That's so great. In one of those videos you talked about, I think it was after you qualified for the national team in August, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
You qualified again after 5 years off, you qualified for the national team again. And
Yeah.
you did a post about just balancing life, like enjoying life a lot more now, like
Yeah.
going to concerts. And I would love for you to talk about how you found a little bit more of a swim life balance now than maybe you had when you were younger.
Definitely. I mean, I do think that, like, in order to be great, you do have to sacrifice things. Like, you have
Yeah.
to there is a trade that needs to be made, and I think that I traded too much growing up. Well, I know that I
Mm,
traded too much. I traded way too much, and, to the point where, like, it had negative ramifications. I mean, I still,
mm,
like, had a fantastic time. Like, I had a great time, but I was behind in a lot of areas of life where, like, I went to college and all I had done my entire life was swim. So, like,
mm.
I was kind of living on a different planet than all the other, people and all the other kids in college, and,
Yeah.
like, I had to kind of bridge this gap and, like, learn older, which is obviously fine, like, how to be an 18-year-old. Because all of my friends were, like, 25 to 30, and, it was like I skipped, like, a big part of my life in a way. So it was like I kind of had to, like, go back. Like, "Oh, I'm not here yet." I skipped it like, in a math problem when you, like, skip a bunch of steps and then you're like, "I'm at a different answer." I know how to do, like, this weird hard part at the end, but I didn't do the initial steps. Um yeah, so, like, I definitely think that, like, now that I'm older too, I don't have
Mhm.
room to really just, like, swim and not do anything else. Like, I have jobs that I have to balance.
Mhm.
I have a social life now. I
Yeah.
have things that, like, I have to do to be an adult. So, and when you're being an adult, you can't just be an adult and swim. So I'm like, I need to have fun things to balance that out as well. Um, and yeah, I also just think that, like, if you're not having fun outside of swimming, you won't enjoy it as much. There will be something
Mm.
that's, like, always kind of weighing you down, and you'll, be wondering if it's worth it. You'll be wondering, what if I had gone to that concert and just taken a nap the next day, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't want to live life with any regrets, especially now. Um, and I think that I know the balance as well. Like, I know how much I can do. I know when I've done too many things outside of the pool and where I'm like, okay, I need to take a step back. I need to, like, really just, like, rest this weekend and, like, take
Mhm.
care of myself so I can have a good week next week. Um, yeah, so, like, just knowing your balance, I think, is what's really important.
In your book, I related to your mom a lot when you were talking about her because I'm a mom.
Yeah.
And, I think especially when she was, seasick on the boat on the boat.
Yeah. Oh,
And I
we
and I thought, "Would I have done that for my daughter?" I mean, your mom sounds amazing, and
she
I was
has the
wondering
best sense of humor.
if you could just talk about how your parents, but your mom and your family have just supported you in your success in swimming.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about, like, that trip was my mom got there and she's like, "You didn't ask me if I could come to this, by the way. You just told me. I didn't have this in my schedule. Like, I had to figure this out."
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
"Okay, well, I'm not sorry, like, I need you here." And,
Mhm.
um, so, it was quite an experience, like, I needed her
Yeah.
there, but,
Yeah.
And her just, like, being seasick and, like, annoyed, and me being exhausted and annoyed, just kind of, like at the end, we laughed so hard about it. We were like, "What on earth
Oh
was
my
that?" Because we
gosh.
were not prepared for that swim whatsoever. Like,
Let
I
me
told
back
her to
up
bring
for a
her
minute
Kindle.
and let me just tell the listeners for a second. I just assumed they could read my mind, but what we're talking about is a major swim you did in Hawaii, the Maui
Yes,
Nui
yes.
with Channel. Is that correct?
Yeah,
And that's what, 40 miles?
40 miles.
40 miles.
It's quite a
And
journey.
that's open water. That's you by yourself. It was something that you decided to challenge yourself with,
Yeah,
correct? Yeah. It wasn't a group swim or
no, it
competition.
was just me one day
So
randomly
it's
between morning and afternoon practice. I was like, "I need to go do this."
this was something you wanted to do. And so your mom and others are in a boat, like a captain. Your mom
Yeah.
was your feeder
Yes.
and someone in a kayak. Is that right?
Right, and then there were, like, 3 kayakers that would trade off. My mom was supposed to have a backup feeder, but I didn't know that.
Okay.
So, like, she could
Oh,
sleep for
right.
part
So
of
it
it,
was
and
all
I
on
just
her. It was all on her.
yeah, every 20 minutes, she had to be ready. And then I had 2 captains that would switch off every few hours.
And it took 20 hours?
Yeah, 20 hours, 53 minutes, and 37
Oh my
seconds.
gosh.
It
Yeah.
was a long swim, but
That
a good swim.
it's incredible. And you talk about it at the end of the book, right? You're sort of in detail, each
Yeah,
leg, what's going through your mind. And then every now and then you're describing your mom's head popping up, seasick,
yeah.
reacting or not, and then back. And I just thought, oh my gosh, I don't know if I could do that for my daughter. So
She didn't know that she was gonna get seasick,
your
though.
mom sounds amazing.
She's still waiting to write the rebuttal to that whole swim, her
Yeah.
perspective. Um,
Oh, yeah. I would read that in a heartbeat. Tell
but
her.
she's
Yeah.
not a good writer, so she wants me to write it for her, and I told her that that just defeats the
Yeah.
whole purpose, and it won't be an unbiased account, so I don't think that's coming out anytime soon.
Well, maybe I'll just interview her for the podcast.
Yeah,
I would love to talk to Becca
honestly.
Mann's mom and the journey that is supporting Becca Mann as
Yeah.
an age group swimmer.
I don't want that to happen. I don't we don't need that.
We don't need that. Okay. All right. That's fine.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah,
I
my
love
favorite
that
swim was
though. I
very
love that though, because it seemed like it was your sister. It seemed like a big support for you. Your mom, even when they weren't in person, it seemed like you were talking to them regularly on the phone.
yeah. Both my
Um,
sisters have been, like, very just I got into swimming from because of my older sister,
that's right.
and
Yeah.
my younger sister made sure she didn't do sports because of us. And yeah, like and my dad too, like, all of us, we all are very competitive, and we all support and I say my younger sister didn't do sports, like, she runs marathons all the time now, but,
Oh, yeah.
she's like, "I'm not doing swimming, I'm not doing
Yeah. Yeah.
triathlon." I'm done with this. But yeah, like I'm very grateful that like we're able to be so competitive and have so
hmm
much fun doing it because it makes all of us like high achieving and it makes it way more fun to have other people to do it with.
Yeah. And that was the environment that you came out of. It probably just seemed normal for you to like pick these big challenges and do
Yeah,
them.
definitely. And like my parents were really like from a young age, they were like, "Oh, like you can do whatever you want to do. Like just do something and put your all into it and see why somebody has to be the best at it. Like why not you if you want it to be you?" Um, and I think that that, like, really allowed me to get, like, the right mindset going into the swimming career. Um, and I don't know that I would have done as well. I don't think I would have done I know that I wouldn't have done as well if, I hadn't had that from a young age.
Yeah, but so it was always you driving it. Like this was
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely, but, like, even when you're driving it, just, like, having supportive people around you who tell you that you're not crazy, because like, there's so
Yeah.
many people that are going to tell you, "You can't do" like, I had so many swim coaches tell me, "You can't
Oh,
do that. You're not gonna be good enough to do that. Like, why do you think that you can get the world record in the 400 IM by the time you're 14? Like, nobody does that.
wow.
It's not gonna be you." And just having people around you who are like, "Oh, well, just prove them wrong. Like, why
That's
not? Do
amazing.
it." Um, yeah, I think that, like, you really need those people in your life because
Mhm.
I love proving people wrong, and I love when people tell me I can't do something because I'm like, "Okay, like, now I have to do it." Like,
Now I have to
you've
try.
sealed my destiny at this point.
Yeah.
Um, but I do think that, like, if you only had those voices, I think that a part of you would eventually start believing it.
Mhm.
So I do think it's important to have the voices that are like, "Why not? Just try, see.
Sure.
Like, you
Yeah.
can do it if
Yeah.
you really want to."
We'll support you.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the book, you talk about your struggle with OCD, and I appreciate the way you lay it out in the book because
Yeah.
I have very little experience with OCD, and you really helped the reader feel and understand your worry, your panic, the constant. I mean, you were even telling yourself this probably isn't real, but it was still kind of
Yeah.
overwhelming to you. So first of all, I love that you talk about that in the book and it's part of your journey. I'm wondering if you can talk about how swimming has helped you overcome some of the challenges with OCD and also maybe
Yeah.
some encouragement for parents who worry about their neurodivergent kids.
Yeah, well, OCD is like if you don't know that you have OCD, you just kind of think that you're crazy or like
Mm,
you think that you're evil or you think that like there's something wrong with you.
yeah.
So, yeah, like for a long time until it was diagnosed, I was like there's something wrong with me and I don't know what it is. And swimming definitely helped on so many levels because like it's a way to just calm your mind for me. Like
Mhm.
if going all out for 2 hours at a time
Mhm.
my brain couldn't think about anything else. Like, you get so locked in and, like, your body can't panic because it's too busy swimming and trying to, like, to push itself
Mhm.
and see what you could do. Um,
Yeah.
so that, like swimming definitely helped me so much with that. And then, from there, like, just I would say getting, like if you know that, like, your kid has OCD, just getting them help, getting them to a therapist, and
Mhm.
therapy is the worst thing ever for someone with OCD because, like, the whole
'Cause then you
premise
worry about the therapy.
that and, like, the whole premise is confronting the things that, like, you're terrified of and the things that, like, are
Mm,
causing you to panic and, like,
yeah.
make you like, the things that you're most afraid of. It's literally just, like, confronting your fears, your worst
Mm.
ever fears, and, so it's horrible,
And
but
probably
you have
saying it out loud too probably
yeah,
can be
definitely, and,
scary.
like yeah, there are, like, lots of things that, like intrusive thoughts that I had that, like, didn't go in the book because I'm like, "Okay, this like, if people don't have OCD, they're not going to understand this."
Mm,
So, yeah, therapy is just, like, so important because eventually, like, you confront it enough, you expose yourself enough that it loses its power, and even if it doesn't, like, fully lose its power and you still, like, have these thoughts, you're able to not let them send you into a panic and able to, like, kind of,
mhm,
like, look at them from an objective perspective and just be like, "Okay, this is a thought, this isn't true. Yes, like, my mind is trying to convince me that it's true because of XYZ, but XYZ doesn't mean that's true." So I would say like just getting support for people. It's a journey and it does get better. And like once you
mm,
can learn the tips and the tricks, like now I'm at a place in my life where I'm like, oh, I know that I'm going to have like more OCD spirals in my life. Like I know that I'm going to have like ebbs and flows and like I'm gonna have times in my life where my OCD is bad. But I'm
mhm.
not afraid of that anymore because I know that like I have the tools to make it better when that does happen, and I can always go back to therapy, talk it out, figure it out. So now, like, I just have this confidence in myself that, like, no matter what OCD throws my way, I will be able to get through it, and I will be able to get out the other side and, like, get back into that, like, get back off the down and onto, like, the up
Yeah.
of, like, the rolling wave that is OCD. Um, yeah, and, like, I hope that people, realize that it can be like that, and, like, you can, like, live with it, live, like, a full, happy, healthy life, and
Mhm.
have as long as you, like, have these tools.
Yeah. Yeah, well, thanks for bringing awareness to that because I know it helps the more people know that this is something that people are struggling with, the more people know that this is something that someone they love might be struggling with.
Yeah.
I think it helps just awareness.
Definitely, and I think that
So,
it's also often misunderstood because
mm.
people think it's like, "Oh, you, like, are very organized and and neat," and I'm like, "No,
Yes.
I'm so disorganized and everything's a mess all the time," like, and I'm sometimes a germaphobe, but I'm usually not, and, like, it's something very different than what people perceive it as.
Yeah, I guess that, calling someone OCD is
Yeah,
sort of a joke or someone
right,
who's
and, like
super organized and
yeah, and it's very much not what OCD is.
yeah. So yeah, again, thanks to your book and just explaining the thoughts that were racing through your mind, that was pretty eye-opening for me. So I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Appreciate you
I'm
sharing
like
that.
I'm that was really important for me to share too, just because
Mhm.
it's, like, been such a big part of my life, and I know that it, like, will probably be the biggest challenge of my life, if I look at my life as a whole, like, I know that OCD will probably be, like, the biggest challenge that life will throw at me, and just, like, knowing that and being able to write about that and, like, it's part of my story, and it wouldn't that book, like, wouldn't be honest if I hadn't talked about it.
Mm. I want to go back to talking about you making the national team again after 5 years off of swimming. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's amazing. How many times have you been on the national
I
team?
think that it's my 8th, which
That's amazing.
there's, like, 1 year that I'm not positive about, but I'm pretty sure it's my 8th.
So, for listeners who may not know, what does it take to make the national team, and what does that mean? What does it mean to be on the national team?
Yes, so it's the top 6 in every event, sometimes per year, for USA Swimming, and then sometimes, like, it's just from specific meets for the pool events, but
Okay.
open water, it's top 6 at open water nationals, and then
Okay.
on top of that, if, like, you don't have a logged time in the pool, you have to log, a certain time in the 1500s, so, like, there's this weird other step, which I personally think is extremely stupid, and, um, it's like asking somebody to, like, get top 6 in the marathon and running and then, like, randomly get this 5K time in on the
Yeah.
track, like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Um,
So
I'm hoping that they
you have to do this open water swim, and then you have to do a pool swim.
Yes. You have to do a
Uh,
mile specifically,
okay.
under the Olympic trial cut. So, like, I had just been training for open water, and then, I got 5th I was the 5th American at open water nationals, and then I had to, like, go and, like, switch my focus over to the pool so I could get this time, which I needed to do anyways because, my mile, like, needs to be faster than that, um, but still, like, very random, and there was a moment where I did my first 1,500 in, like, 6 years, and it was nowhere near where I expected it to be, and, like, there's, like, a moment halfway through where I was like,
Wow.
"I hate this. Why am I doing this? I don't wanna be in this pool right now. I wanna get out. I
Yeah.
don't remember how to swim this. This is really long. Like, what am I doing with my life right now?" But then I just, like, started doing one every week just because it seemed to be that, like, I forgot how to swim it rather than, like, anything else, and I dropped time every time until I finally got the time, that I
That's
needed to go
amazing.
after I think on my 6th try no, 5th try, on my 5th try. Um, yeah, but it's really great that, just, like, being able to take that much time off and come back and get to this level again, so quickly was very gratifying, and
Yeah.
I missed it so much, like, that was why I came back. I came back because I was like, "Oh, I missed the daily fulfillment of swimming that swimming brought me," and I was able to, like, fit it into my schedule, so I was like, Why not? Why am I not doing this if I miss it and I'm able to fit it into my life?"
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's huge. So in the book you talk about like there's the pool swimming Becca and the open water Becca, and it feels like the two are in conflict. Have you figured out
Yeah, I'm glad that that came across. That was like a random metaphor that was kind of in there.
have you figured out how to balance that, or is the open water Becca still winning?
Oh,
Uh
open water will always win. Like,
okay.
that's my true love.
That's your true, yeah.
That's what I love the most and where I enjoy myself the most, and I think it's what I'm best at too.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, I kind of wanted that to, like, symbolize, like, this feeling of freedom that open water brought and, like, the confinement of the pool. Um, and, like, that in a lot of ways was, like, a metaphor for, like, the rigidity that I had in my life and, like, how I needed to, like, be more free and just, like, be less controlling of, like,
mm.
my routine and, like, in swimming and all of that. So I'm glad that that really came across.
It did. I mean, your early successes were mostly in the pool, right? And so, yeah, so it was sort of a jump, and people were telling you you
Right.
shouldn't. So you had to really decide that that's something you wanted, you
Yeah.
loved and wanted to do.
Yeah, and I do think that both of them can be done. A lot of athletes have
Mhm.
done both. And I don't know really why. Like I've thought about this a lot where I don't know why people want you to focus on one thing when you have the capability to do multiple things.
Yeah.
Especially like when you're that young. Like I had the ability to do multiple events and doing open water wasn't going to hurt my pool swimming, but
Mhm.
there were always like people trying to convince me that it would, and I'm not exactly sure why. Like looking back at that.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe selfishly,
Maybe.
coaches
Yeah.
had their ideas.
No one really cares about open water too. That's the other thing. Like it's a
I
sport
mean,
that like doesn't have a lot of fans. That's
yeah.
often like kind of just like an afterthought for different governing bodies and people and coaches in general.
I'm super fascinated by open water because and I've had very little access to it, but it is this whole world apart from, the age group swimming in the pool, competitive swimming is its own thing, and then open water is just its own beast. It has its
Yeah.
own seasons, it has its own training. I mean, for the people who've never watched an open water race, can you can you describe some of the big differences between open water and pool swimming?
Yeah. So open water is really about strategy. It's
Mhm.
about figuring out all everybody is going to the same place at the same time. There are no lane lines. You
How many people are in the water at the same time?
It can be anywhere between like 15 to like 100. It just really
Okay.
depends. It depends on the event. But yeah, so like you have to have a strategy because everybody is trying to do the same thing and trying to be in the same place.
Hmm.
So it can get like very violent where like whether it's incidental or purposeful. Um and you just have to be smart and like know that it's not going to go as planned. Something
Mm.
will go wrong and you will not be where you want to be, and just being able to like think on your feet, think quickly, not judge whatever has just happened, and figure out how to get to where you want to be using the least amount of energy so you have energy at the end. Um, it's really fascinating, and like it's a lot of it's about drafting, feeding,
Mhm.
conservation, and then adventure too, because like sometimes you can be bold and be like, okay, I'm feeling really good. I still have 5K left. What if I just like made a move right now, started sprinting? Would I be able to drop everybody, or would I, or would I just like die in like a 2K from now and like have no
Yeah.
energy whatsoever? So like there's a little bit of a gamble with it, and I love gambling, so it's really like a sport that was made for me in so many ways. Minus the navigational part of it, I'm very bad at like, that's, like, the one thing where I'm like, I don't know where I am.
You
I'm not
you
I
can't see underwater, right?
Sometimes you can, usually
Okay.
though. Yeah, usually
Yeah.
it's not. Um, but it's so much fun. It's like it's a very challenging sport, and one that I think it attracts like certain personalities too.
Mm.
So the people in the sport are generally like very fun and cool and very tough.
I know that our swim team here in North Carolina has started doing clinics
Yeah.
for open water for the kids, which I love. Just, they set the pool up with some buoys that they need to swim around and they talk about drafting and
Yeah.
is it sighting? Is that what it's called?
Yep. Did
Um,
Ashley do that? I think Ashley did that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and JP.
Nice.
So I love that there's ways for kids to maybe be introduced to it. I mean,
Yeah.
otherwise, I don't know. Again, I don't. It's a mystery to me. Like, how do you get into it?
Think that it's, like, a matter of signing people up. You just have to,
Mm-hmm.
like, sign your kids up for, like,
Just try it.
random, like, swims and see what happens, and then,
Yeah.
like, talk to your coaches from there. But, yeah, it's something that, like, generally swim teams aren't like, "Okay, we're gonna do a random open water race, this local,
Right.
like, thing in this random lake," which is really a pity because it's such a fun sport, and I think that so many people would love it. Um, so I really wish that, like, teams would do that more often.
Yeah, I'm hoping that talking about it more awareness. I've started to ask a lot more questions. There are a few friends of ours whose kids swim open water, and I'm just fascinated. Hopefully, just getting the word out there and
Yeah,
people talking about it more.
definitely.
So now that you're on a national team again,
Yes.
so then what does that mean? Does that last a year? And what do you do in that
Yes,
year?
it lasts a year. Um, Most of, like, the international competitions are only offered to the top 4, so, like, I've kind of been, like, left out of
Oh,
those.
okay.
But, you basically, like, get health insurance, you get, trips to the Olympic Training Center, you get, like, different opportunities for funding, stuff like that. So it's, like, a bunch of, like, random perks that allow you to
Mhm.
train and not have to, like, worry about so many, like, life things.
But are you training for something now? Will you compete
Yeah,
in
well, Open
something?
Water Nationals is in April, which will be, like, the
Oh, okay.
re-qualification and, like, where they do it again.
I see.
And then, like, the national team renews in September, so, but, like, it's based on what happens in April. And then it's,
Wow.
like, also qualifications for Pan Pats, which is, like, the big event of the summer, for next year.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'll just, like, be focusing on that and hope to improve from last year there.
Will you do races in the pool, to building up to the open water?
Probably, I'll
Is that
probably
how
do, like,
you
yeah, a few 1500s.
Okay.
There might be, like, one other open water race that I'll go to internationally. I'm not sure yet, but just right now, like, I've been hunkering down training, trying to improve as quickly as I can, just
Yeah.
because it's I'm not quite where I wanted to be at the end of I'm just at 1 year right now of training. I
Yeah.
think, like, 1 year. Weirdly, I think it might be to the day. Um,
Wow.
where, like, I moved here a year ago. So, I am just, like, trying to make as much progress as possible in the next, like, few months and see if I
Mhm.
can, like, get some speed back because speed seems to, like, be the one thing that I'm still really lacking. So yeah, I'm just trying I know that there's, like, a lot of room for improvement right now, um, and just trying to make those jumps.
Yeah. So the pool swimming does, they can work together, right?
Mhm.
The pool and the open water and the training,
Definitely. I think that
they
yeah,
can.
they complement each other for sure.
Yeah. That's great. Well, thanks. That's I was like, I have so many questions about open water. I have no idea how that
Yeah.
works. So, just for fun, what music do you listen to before a race to get you in the zone?
So I, like, go through phases where I will only listen to one artist for, like, probably 6 to 8 months until, like, all of a sudden, like, I'll be listening to a song and I'm like, "I cannot listen to this song. I cannot listen to this artist ever again." Like,
You
it'll
wear it
take
you
all my
wear it out?
It's so strange, but right now I'm in my Lady Gaga phase where all I've
Yeah,
been listening to since May is Lady Gaga. I think I've probably listened to, like, 5 other songs, like, of my own will that have not been Lady Gaga.
that's
Thankfully, her
amazing.
discography is very vast, so, like, she has hundreds of songs.
Mm.
So, like, I'm content right now, like, I haven't gotten to the point where I'm, like, all of a sudden listening to Poker
Ready to move
like,
on.
no Lady Gaga ever again." Yeah, but that's what I'm listening to currently. It's just generally, like, an artist, and I will listen to every single song in their entire discography, and that will be all that I listen to for a while.
But, like, if you're nervous before a race, would you put on something like that you had already been listening to while you were training, or do you have, like, something that would hype you up?
Um, it usually has to be that artist that I'm listening
Yeah,
to.
I feel
I'll listen to something else and I'll just be like, "This doesn't sound good to me. I need Lady Gaga right now."
No, and that's consistent with kinda having, like, the pre-race routine, like, you're
Yeah.
doing everything that you did in training and
Definitely.
including the same music.
Yeah. I
That
mean, there
makes
are,
a
like, specific songs, like, I'll need an upbeat song, and usually, like, it has some sort of lyrics about like, I remember going into, like, the mile where I made the national team, I listened to Abracadabra, the new Lady Gaga song, I don't know if you're familiar. It's
Yeah.
about, like, dancing or dying and, like, how if you stop dancing, you'll die. Um, I think it was, like, inspired by, like, a random dream that she had about, like, a goblin outside of a club being like, if you stop dancing, you're going to, like, to die right now." Um, right, I don't know why I know that, but,
That's amazing.
that was kind of like I was like, "Okay, I've gotta get this time or I'm gonna die, like, swim or die
And
right now,"
that's
like
I mean, that's perfect, right? It's
yeah,
like,
it was, like,
that's
very inspiring. I was like,
yeah,
"Okay, like, I'm Lady Gaga in the music video right now. The Mistress of Mayhem is telling me that if I stop, I'll die. Like, there's only one option right now, and I have to get this time."
yeah.
Yeah, so, like, whenever things got hard, I was like, "Gotta keep dance or die.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's always like just something random. Like I'll find that like one artist like random song that's like that, and then I'll be like, okay, here we go.
I love the power of music.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's amazing for
Yeah.
sure. I've heard you talk about some events you would add to swim meet lineups, like for fun.
Yeah.
Can you share some of those, or if you have any new ones?
Well,
Events that don't exist.
selfishly, butterfly is my best stroke.
Ah,
Um, it like my
nice.
200 fly is significantly better than my 200 freestyle, and I know that
Okay,
if there was like a
that's
400
amazing.
butterfly, I would be great at that. I'd be great at
400.
the 800 fly. So like selfishly, I would add all the events that I know I'd be like really great
Yeah,
at. But like if I had to add events, it would be like 400 fly, 800 IM. Um, Definitely 5K to like the Olympic lineup, 3K knockout to the Olympic lineup,
yeah.
25K to the Olympic lineup.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
those would probably be my like 6 events where I'd be like, okay, 400 fly, 800 fly, 800
So the most painful, the longest,
Yeah,
most endurance.
I would
Yeah.
just add in like the things that most people would hate me for adding in.
Yeah,
Like,
I
why did we
feel like
decide this should be a thing?
this is not fun.
Yeah.
No. What about an event that like is a little more silly and fun, like Kyle Sockwell swimming in jeans, or like a, summer swim, like a race, the parent or coaches races, something like that. If you could add an event that was just kind of like silly, fun,
Oh,
what would it
interesting.
be?
I've not thought about this ever. I'm like, the 800 I am.
Yeah,
Obviously.
yeah, like
Me
obviously
versus JP.
the most
JP has a 400
painful.
IM, I do an 800 IM.
There you go.
I don't know. I think that it wouldn't be a sprinting event. I feel like there's so many sprint events now, and I don't
Mhm.
enjoy watching the sprint events because I generally, like, don't know what's happening, and then I just have to look at the scoreboard to see who won. Like, I can't quite follow it.
It's
There's not enough
so
time.
fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's too close for me. And I,
Mhm.
like, feel like I don't quite have my bearings of who's even in which lane before it's over.
Mhm. That's
Which I don't
true.
think is peak entertainment. I feel like for entertainment value, like, the 200s I think are peak entertainment.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. Not
And if you between short course and long course, I'm assuming you prefer long?
Yeah, I actually actively dislike short course.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
wouldn't be swimming if it were just like, I would have never made a comeback. If, like, you're making a comeback and it's all short course, I would have been like,
Yeah.
"Absolutely not. I'm happy with my life right now."
It's nice that there's some variety. I mean, it seems like it's nice to have both, but I can see how someone would
I have really
prefer
bad
one.
turns, yeah,
Mm.
and then I feel like I, like, take 3 strokes and I'm at the wall again.
Yeah. I
It just
mean,
isn't for
yeah,
me, it's not for me.
when I'm watching the professional swimmers, like there was the World Cup. Is that what it's
Yeah,
called? I'm blanking on the name. They were doing short course meters, right?
yeah,
And man, they hit it so fast. They're
I know,
doing
it's
those
so fast.
25s so quickly. It
Yeah,
does feel like it feels like the pool's too small for
yeah,
these
that's how
fast swimmers.
definitely. That's how I feel too, like, it does feel too small.
Yeah, yeah.
The longer the pool, the better for me.
I mean, we need all types. So I love
Yeah.
that there's someone like you picking the longest, hardest,
Butterfly.
farthest,
Ready
the
to
ones
go.
that most people will never, ever swim. So, well, thank you so much for your time. I could
Yeah,
seriously
thank
talk
you for
to you
having
for
me.
hours.
Yeah, this was so much fun.
I could pick your brain for hours. This book came out this year, right?
Yes.
Outside the lanes. But you have another book too. What that came
Yes.
out that's not about swimming?
No, it's
What
a
is
young
that?
adult dystopian. It's called Unruly. I have it here. Should
Unruly.
I go get it? Is that
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm reaching
I'm
out my thing.
excited that you have two recently published books,
Okay, so this is Unruly.
and tell us what it's about.
It's a young adult dystopian. It's like kind of in the vein of like Hunger Games, Divergent, like
Awesome.
2010s dystopian.
Yeah.
um, Yeah, and it's a twin swap story at the highest level where, like, they're found out they will be killed. I could give you do you want, like, the full pitch or
Sure. Yeah. This one sounds like an awesome read for parents and kids,
Yeah. So the characters live in a society where there's been like a nuclear disaster and population is very far down. And in order to rebuild humanity, when kids are 17, they get either assigned a match based on like a genetic match based on how well behaved they've been, or like if they've been very well behaved, they get like multiple options and kind of like have to enter this bachelor-esque society. And if you want to opt out of this whole program, you get sent to this island called Unruly. This is not really the island, but
Ah,
and but nobody knows what happens there. They just know that it's bad. Um, so it's about these two twin sisters, one of whom has the most points of anybody ever, and she's like a celebrity in the society, best behaved person ever. But it's only because every time she messes up, she pretends to be her twin sister who has the least amount of points of anybody ever. So but the sister who's perfect, who always does everything right, she has very severe anxiety about everything, and she realizes that she's only been doing this because this is all that she knows how to do. So, like, when it comes time for her to, like, go off into the bachelor-esque society, she, freaks out and decides to pretend to be her sister and goes off to this island against her sister's will, and, she gets sent off to the island, and the sister has to pretend to be her, and if they're discovered, they will both be killed. So it's a fun.
nice.
I love how I'm like, it's a fun book.
Yeah.
This dystopian world is so much fun.
Yeah. You're like, and they might be killed. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's great.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds awesome. If you, yeah, any plot of a dystopian novel is going to be,
Yeah.
not warm and fuzzy, but
I'm really like, I think that this is the best thing I've written, this book. So I'm very proud of it, and I put like a lot of thought and time into it. So I'm really happy with how it turned out.
I'm excited to read it. I did buy it recently, but I haven't read
Oh,
it
thank
yet.
you. I
So
really
I
appreciate that.
I will. Yeah. So thanks for sharing that with us.
Yeah, of course.
Tell everyone where we can find you on the internet, on the
Okay.
socials.
Yeah, so I'm at Becca _man, MANN on Instagram. And then I'm at Becca W Man on TikTok.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. And I can put all that in the show notes as well. So
Thank you.
thanks so much for
Oh,
spending
thank
time with
you.
me today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I love
Um,
being here.
Yeah, we'll see, because I enjoyed it so much. I might have you on in another year or so and
Perfect.
pick some other
Update.
topic. I know, pick some other topic, or maybe you'll have another book by then.
We'll
So
see which artist I'm listening to on repeat at that
yes,
point.
yeah, we have to keep updated.
We'll
We'll
see
check in with
what's
Becca, see
changed.
who she's listening to these days.
If it's still Lady Gaga, then we have a problem. You'd be like, Becca, what's going on?
Or not. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Becca.
Yes, of
I'll
course.
Yeah, okay. Thank
All right.
you.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good one. Bye.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed my interview today with Becca Mann, please share it with someone who might also enjoy the interview. Like, subscribe, follow, and share. If you'd like to buy any of Becca's books, I'll include the links in the show notes, as well as all the places you can find her online and on social media. Thanks again for listening to the Swim Parent Podcast.